I'm going to be saying this pretty much for every movie, obviously, but I fucking love this movie. I know, like, kind of the theme of this podcast is like comfort movies because obviously it's movies that I've seen a million times. And to most people, they would probably think, well, my God, how would this be a comfort movie to a normal person? Well, I am not a normal person. I know full and well that it is probably not a sign of mental health and fortitude to be comforted by movies about, being possessed by ancient demons. But god dang, I am so comforted by this movie, and it makes no sense. And I know it's not a good thing. It's not a good sign. I should probably be in some sort of therapy for it, but I tried
This
therapy
man wants
before.
Pazuzu in bed with him.
I mean, I've tried therapy multiple times. It's never worked because I always feel like they're just out for the money and they don't really give a damn. So, and I think therapy's a scam. Me and Tom Cruise, that's one of the many things that he and I have in common. So, should we do like one of these numbers before we start, like Santa Claus? Because oh boy, it's gonna get
It's pretty dark.
real wicked in here. But anyways, so yes, this is a massive comfort movie for me. I don't know why. I don't know why horror movies are comforting to me, but they always have been. Ever since I was a wee little girl, I've always been comforted by horror movies. I just I've tried to figure out what it is, like what makes me, just find so much solace in these types of films, and I don't have an answer, but it just happens. I fall asleep to this movie probably at least once every couple weeks. Put it on right before I go to bed. Now sometimes I do wake up to the sounds of
Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me.
yeah, yeah. So I have woken up at about 2 in the morning to that and thought, oh my God, my life is not going the way I thought it would when I was a little kid. When is the last time before, preparing for this, when is the last time that you watched this movie? And had you ever seen the movie all the way through, in its entirety?
I feel like in a lot of movies we talk about, we're going to have a differing point of view, a differing scale of rating. We might not always agree. We might have a completely like, you love it, I hate it type deal.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
don't necessarily hate this movie, but one main fact that I know I'm going to make through all movies made pre 2000 is I don't like old graphics and stuff because of how culture and like how much I've seen the new stuff. I don't like get any joy from the old stuff, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense because I hate the way new movies look. I think they
Okay.
look horrible. It's too high def. It's too real. They don't look like a movie anymore. This
Right.
movie, one of the points I was going to make about this movie is that this movie came out in 1973 and it looks like a movie that came out in 1973. It looks
Yes, it does.
good for that time
Yeah.
because there are definitely movies from
Great.
that time that don't look great. But
Lots of cool stuff.
I love the graininess, I love the grittiness. I love
I
that it
hate it.
that's so crazy to me.
Can't stand it. That my
But
main
that's what it's
complaints in this movie is sound, the film quality, which I get it. It's 1973. You couldn't make it better then. But I'm so used to 4K HD ultra high def that
yeah,
that's all I like.
that's ruined movies.
And I'm going to talk good upon a lot of movies you hate, and you're going to talk bad about a lot of movies I love, and it's going to be a great time through every conversation.
We aren't gonna be doing any movies that I hate, dipshit. This is
No.
movies that I've seen a million times. Why would I watch a movie a million times that I hate? These are always gonna be movies that I love, and you're just gonna
Have you
you'll either like them or
seen?
you don't.
But do
We're
you
not
love
doing
thousands of movies?
just so you know, we're not doing Tokyo Drift. If that's what you're trying to get at,
No.
besides that, what did you think of the movie
Oh, I
upon
mean,
this
from
recent
the
rewatch?
acting point of view,
Yeah,
from the
just
plot,
the yeah,
yeah,
not necessarily
everything was
visually.
good. I give it like, do we give a rating now, or do you want me to wait till the end?
Let's wait till the end. Yeah,
Okay,
let's
so
don't
I'll just talk
bust our
about it.
load yet.
I so pushing everything I don't like aside, I thought every actor in this film did a great job. There was no
Oh,
one that I could be like, "Damn, they suck at what they do.
yeah,
They
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
be in this film." I believed everything. Like, everyone screams, everyone's yelling. People, the dude Reagan, from beginning to middle, I could sense, like, you could see how sweet she was, and then just the change, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And
yeah,
like, holy crap, how does a person do that range wise
yeah,
and get away with it at that young?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
was impressed by that. But overall, movie was really good. I liked it. There was a part, so I didn't think I was going to have any jump scares.
I was curious about this. I was curious if like modern horror has
Me
ruined
too.
these types of horror movies because it hasn't. I mean, I've never really found this movie to be scary.
Right.
I mean, I don't really find most horror movies to be scary. I just love
No.
them. But
I think jump
yeah,
scares are scary because they're a shock value,
yeah,
and it's not
yeah,
scary on screen after 2 seconds, but the immediate jump makes you jump. And when a movie can do that,
yeah.
I love it.
Yes, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on
Yeah.
that for sure. So wait, so what were you gonna say? You had one on this?
I did, and it was shocking because I've seen the movie before. I know like the crazy moments, the pop culture of the movie. I know all
Mhm.
the head spinning and the throw up and the peas and blah blah blah.
Yep, yep.
I did not know. Well, there's a couple things I didn't know, and I'll go back to the second one. The first thing I didn't know was when. So it's the moments leading up to way before she's possessed. So he goes to Iraq. He sees Pazuzu
Mhm.
in the little rock and everything. It's the first moment where the screen flashes and shows his face.
Yeah.
I did not know that happened. I was just sitting here, I was watching it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this movie's like, I'm 40 minutes into it. I'm like, this is a slow build up, but I get it. I see things are
Mhm.
changing. When does she turn into this demon?
Yeah.
Boom. I went, oh, fuck. When,
Yeah.
what the hell? And I just kept watching. I was like, oh, it's starting. Something's happening. And then it happened two or three
Mhm.
more times. And then at the end,
Yeah.
when it finally came in, I was like, oh, yeah, this is good. I
Yeah.
love that. I loved it.
Yes. Yeah, so before we dive into, like, Bill Friedkin and all that, do a little facts and figures of The Exorcist. So it's released December 26, 1973, day after Christmas, which is hilarious. Obviously directed by William Friedkin, based on the book by William Peter Blatty, who wrote the book in 1971. When it was released, it sold 13 million copies, became the first horror novel to make it to number one on the New York Times bestseller list. It is a massive, massive book. And obviously, people are going to be trying to option the rights. And old Bill Friedkin ends up landing it after it had kind of gone through the hands of a few other directors like Mike Nichols, who was kind of a fucking dinosaur by that point. Um, it did not get put into the hands of anyone who would have made a good version of this movie. When I was as I was reading through the list of directors, like, good lord, thank God it went to this fucking psychopath because this is who needed to direct this movie. The movie, since its release, well, originally when it came out, it made $193 million, an insane amount of money for 1973. Since then, if you add in re-releases and all that shit, 441 million, not with inflation. So it made about
Uh,
$500 million, an insane amount of money. Uh,
you know how much
if
it cost
you
to make?
know how much, yeah,
So it made $500 million,
yep, yep.
and to make this movie and pay the
I'm
actors
gonna
and
guess.
hire the film crew.
I'm
Take
gonna
a guess.
guess because I didn't even look. I feel like that's gonna be too high, but I'll say 20 million.
11 million. Dude, I get it. It's 1973, but
Yeah,
for
but
19 it
still,
it made how many percent? Do your math. 11 million to 441 million
is that
is a
4,000%?
400%,
No, I think that's fourth. Is that
4,000.
400%?
One of the two numbers we just
No,
said,
no, no, no. 400% would be 44 million, wouldn't it? Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
So I think it's
4,000%.
4,000% of the budget.
Jeebus. Jeebus. Holy
Yeah.
God. That is so
That's
much money. They were like, hey, so we got this movie. It's about this book. You probably don't want to do it, but I
yeah.
think it's gonna make some money.
See, I don't think they thought it would make I don't think they thought it was gonna be just as massive as it became, for sure.
Oh,
So I think it was still a pretty even though the book was very successful, I think it was still a pretty big risk to make a
yeah,
movie like this. Because obviously you can do things in
yeah,
books that you can't necessarily, especially at that time,
yeah. You could
show
ban
on
books.
screen,
Yeah.
like showing a teenage girl
Ugh,
masturbating with a crucifix. You can put that in a book because you can put all kinds of shit in a book.
that shit was
But
insane.
showing it happening, which obviously they don't show it, but it's still implying it on screen in 1973 is a big deal. I mean, we're what 3 years away from the first time that fuck was ever used in a movie, which I believe was
Really?
1970. Yeah, MASH in 1970. Yeah, so we're 3 years away from that, and now we're showing a girl saying fuck me,"
Oh, she said
whilst
more than "fuck me."
well, yeah, but
She
while
looks the
sticking a
father in
crucifix in
his
her.
eye.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh.
we're taking a big leap, as far as,
She pisses in front of everybody just randomly and not in
well,
makeup or anything yet.
so yes, so movie, massive, adjusted for inflation, it's still the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, which pretty impressive. It beats The Hangover, Ted, any of that, shit. So, very
Deadpool
good.
and Wolverine.
Yeah, yeah, it beats all of it. It
Oh,
with,
with inflation?
with adjusted for inflation. Yeah,
Okay.
adjusted for inflation.
Makes me yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, obviously, Jaws is what invents the blockbuster, the summer blockbuster, because people were lining up around the block to see Jaws. So
That's what blockbuster means?
that's where Blockbuster comes from.
Okay.
So, and we're what 1 year or 2 years away from that. I think Jaws came out in '75. So, but The Exorcist is pretty much the first like you have got to go see this movie, and theaters are
Yeah.
packed for this movie. Obviously, there have been big movies. Not like it's the first fucking big movie. You have Wizard of Oz and I mean, Gone with the Wind, adjusted for inflation, is the highest grossing movie of all time.
Oh,
So, I mean, it's not the first time that a movie's been massive, but The Exorcist is still, but it's definitely the first horror movie. There's never been a horror movie that has gotten this much attention. It also becomes the first horror movie to be nominated for Best Picture, which has still only happened a handful of times, which is I mean, I could go on all fucking day about the Academy Awards and you know what bullshit they're pulling, but it
yeah.
obviously doesn't win. It's probably some horse shit with Barbara Streisand that wins that year, if I had to guess. And it's the highest grossing Christmas release ever, right behind Titanic. So Titanic still has a beat, but The Exorcist is
When
second
did
for
that come
highest,
out?
97. So there's the facts and figures of The Exorcist. So got that shit done. Now let's go through the cast. I will say, as far as casting goes, there is not a weak link in this entire movie. Not no way, no how. I mean, you already kind of touched
Mhm.
on it. Linda Blair. Normally the kid is the weak link, obviously. Not in this one.
She's my number
Every
1.
huh?
She's my number 1 on my list.
What best actors in the
Yeah, I
movie?
mean, I put all their names down so I could kind of familiarize myself with, like, their names and who
Uh-huh.
they play in the movie, and then
Yeah.
I ranked them on who I liked the most,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
just
Yeah, I mean,
just because I was deep diving into it when I did it.
yeah. I mean, to me, I still think Ellen Burstyn, her acting is
Mhm.
so fucking good, which Ellen Burstyn is a, like, world-class actress. But to me, I think the best actor in the whole movie is, Jason Miller, plays Father Damien Karras. I think he is so goddamn good. Like, and there's something so I know, what you think about, like, the graininess and all that stuff of not liking it, get it.
Yeah.
But
No, that's fine.
the acting in movies back then is to me so much better than the acting in movies now.
Oh
It's so
god,
much
yes.
more believable, mostly because so
Mhm.
many of them have a theater background where a lot of actors don't have that theater background. I mean, obviously
Now
some
they're all
do.
nepo babies.
Well, that's a lot. Well, speaking of Jason Miller, his son, is Jason Patrick. But Jason Miller was a playwright. Had been like very successful making these, just very like well done plays. Like, he had, a pretty extensive background. But he also was studied to be a priest. So he had that like pretty well
Locked
nailed down. I
in.
mean, yeah, I mean, he's so good in this. But I think everybody, there's nobody in this movie. I will say Lee J. Cobb, who plays what's his is it
Kinderman.
Lieutenant Kinderman. He's in a whole different movie. like, like
No, he really was. The whole
I
time.
I
He
think
really
Lee
was.
J. Cobb
He was.
thinks that he's shooting an episode of like the Rockford Files or something. He thinks he's in a straight police detective movie.
That shit was
Because I mean,
hilarious.
he is about the most detective-y detective I've ever seen in a movie, and it
Yeah.
kind of doesn't fit
He
with
was
the
almost Sherlock Holmes.
it is very it's weird, but it
Yeah.
still works. It's still good because I mean, he's also a great actor. Um, I will say this is the best acting in any horror movie ever. I don't think there's ever been a horror movie that has had better acting than this.
You know, when you were talking about Karras earlier, Jason Miller,
Yeah.
one of the things that I just remember most about that movie is I think it's pretty silent what happens, but you know, he's walking to where she's staying. I guess it's Chris's house or whatever.
Mhm.
What do we call that place? Their home.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Carlos is going up there and he gets to the bottom of the stairway and he looks up
Uh-huh.
the stairs, I go, something's gonna happen on these stairs. Because why would the
Yeah.
movie pause right here and
Yeah.
focus on the stairs for 10 seconds?
It's
And
called
then,
foreshadowing, dipshit.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, but then an hour later,
He takes
that
a
was
little
awesome.
tumble. Now, as far as like the impact that this movie had when it came out, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit already. There had never really been a movie like this before. I mean, there's always been horror movies ever since the beginning of film. There never been one this intense, this terrifying. I mean, people were leaving the theaters like on stretchers and shit. Like they're calling ambulances out to movie theaters, fucking with people having like palpitations, full
Could you
on.
imagine a religious zealot sitting inside of a theater in 1973 and it just gets to the scene where she's in bed and she's just stabbing and then she turns her head around? I couldn't imagine Karen sitting in the chair, blasphemy, and then
Yeah.
turns around and runs. She faints. What else are they going to do?
Well, that's one point that I had too is that the church, not a fan.
Of course not, bro. What?
Well, what's funny is that so the Catholic Church is kind of on the fence about it. There are some people in the Catholic Church at the time who are like, well, we actually kind of think the movie does us some good as far as, well, one, it shows the power of Satan and basically not to fuck with it, but also the church wins, you know, like
Well,
the
do
devil
they?
loses.
I feel like okay. Let me ask you this before I get confused and
Okay.
misconstrued. Is the ending where you know they cast the demon out? It
Yeah.
pops into Marin for a second. Marin flies out the window, and then
No,
she gets the
Karis.
coin back. Or Karis, um, when she gets the coin back, and he's like, "Here, you hold on to this."
Mhm.
Is that not the demon in that coin, ready to go for the next time something? I haven't seen the second, third one. I don't know what happens. So
Oh, I haven't seen I've watched the second one, it's been a long ass time. The third
oh,
one is actually really fucking good, which we'll
okay.
get into that a little bit, but, I can just do it now. Third one's great. If you get a chance, watch it. Has George C. Scott, who an amazing actor, from Doctor Strangelove, and he played Patton in the movie Patton.
Hmm.
The first actor to refuse his Oscar, which is, like
Why would he refuse an Oscar?
he just didn't want. It was some kind of like he just didn't think he should win an Oscar for playing. I can't remember. I'm actually kind of making that up on the on the fly, but it was. But he did it, and then a couple of years later, Brando did it with The Godfather.
Marlon
Um,
Brando? Ah,
John Brando. Yeah,
Wayne
yes,
Brando.
yes. Marlon Brando refused his Oscar for Best Actor in the
Hmm.
1973 Oscars for The Godfather. But it was to protest Native American mistreatment by the Hollywood, well, by the American government and by Hollywood in general. So we have this woman named oh fuck, Shish, Shish,
Sasheen.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, yeah.
Little
So she
Feather.
like John Wayne almost went out there and beat the shit out of her because he thought it was blasphemy to refuse an Oscar. But anyway, so getting off fucking topic
Okay.
here,
Yeah,
but
no, we good.
so yeah, so the church, Jesus, we did go on time. So the church, yeah, they're kind of on the fence. I mean, grant most of the church is like, no, this movie is fucking blasphemy. Billy Graham, the televangelist, bit of a nut job. Billy Graham tells people that this movie not only is depicting evil, so people shouldn't see it. He tells people, and at this time, Billy Graham has a massive influence on American society, especially like the Christian right. He tells people that the devil exists inside the celluloid of the film. So if you go see it, there's a great chance that you could become possessed by the devil. And the movie still makes $500 million. So I guess old Bill
I wonder how many
Graham.
people went to be possessed.
I mean, if you tell people not to do something, people are going to do it. And so it actually is some of the best publicity. It's like one of the first times a movie had, it used like influential figures and like society in general as marketing. Instead of
Mhm.
putting up a billboard, let's just have Billy Graham tell people that this movie's evil. And then you're going to have parents say, I don't want you going to see The Exorcist. Now, this kid, first thing he's thinking is, oh, I got to go see the fucking Exorcist. So I'm curious. So, to you, the scariest scene, what was the scariest scene in the movie to you? Because I have one for me that I think is not the common answer.
Man, I got again, scary for me is when I get jump scared because like demons don't scare me, death doesn't scare me. When people die and get mangled and all that, I'm not like, whoa, that's creepy or anything. It's, I mean, when Pazuzu pops up, not the first
Hmm.
time, but the second time and third time, and it's just like pow pow, and you see his like face. I was like, okay, that might be where my heart raised the most in the movie. If that had to explain like the
Gotcha.
scariness I felt, but I mean, maybe in the end when you're seeing Reagan in the bed and you see Pazuzu's statue in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a pretty like
it's creepy as
deep
hell.
part and it's pretty creepy right there. You're like,
Yeah,
because it has that intense background music at the same time and it's daunting. And I just feel,
yeah,
I guess my hair is raised at that point too.
yeah. That's a good pick. Yeah, yeah. For me, it's whenever she's getting the it was an
Oh
angiography
yeah,
at the
at the
hospital.
hospital,
That looks so
dude.
real. Like it's
Dude, I
so
said, why
realistic.
are they doing this to this little girl?
It
What
is
the fuck?
it's so disturbing. And what's crazy has nothing to do with like, demon possession or anything. So in the movie, whenever she's getting the test done, the guy who's prepping her for that in that scene is not an actor. He's an actual X-ray technician. So whenever Friedkin went to go kind of scope out the hospital and say, "Hey, can we shoot the scene here?" and all this shit, he met the X-ray tech, this guy named Paul Bateson, and basically told him, and kind of talked to him a little bit. And was like, "God damn, this guy is, he might let's just cast him as the tech." Like he has great bedside manner, nice, seems like a very nice guy. And so he's in the movie. He's the guy doing all those scenes.
Lucky guy.
Okay. So
Iodine on the neck,
yeah. Ugh.
and then that nasty. Oh my god! Yeah,
Blood
I can see
shooting
how
out.
it's your face, dude. It goes straight down the freaking thing over
Yes.
down my legs, and it just stayed there for the next few scenes. I was
Yeah.
like, this is that looks really real.
Yeah. So
That looks really real.
so okay, so anyway, so Paul Bateson, let me just put a bow on this for you. So Paul Bateson, 6 years after the movie is filmed, um
Goes to jail.
oh, you already know this?
No, I just took a guess.
Okay, well, he does. Do you know why he goes to jail?
If I had to guess again, it's because he's been practicing nursing wrong or without a degree or something, or maybe
A little worse than that. He kills someone. Uh,
on
so Paul
purpose.
B huh?
On purpose or on accident?
Oh, no, 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 on purpose. He murders a,
Okay, cool.
film critic. a guy named Addison Verrill. So he murders him, like full on butchers this guy. And this is
Okay.
after William Friedkin's like, oh man, he was so nice. That's why we put him in the movie. He had such a great chemistry with Linda Blair and everything, with this little girl. Well, fast forward about probably 2 or 3 years later, William Friedkin's doing a movie called Cruising, which is oh, holy hell. You might want to check that one out at some point. Probably not be doing it on this
Mhm.
because it's not a like a easy movie to just sit back and rewatch. But anyways, so he's doing this movie Cruising about these real murders that happened in New York City called the trash bag murders, where these men were being abducted from gay bars in New York City and being butchered and dismembered and put in trash bags along like the Hudson River and the
So
East Bay and
like
all.
Ted Bundy with trash bags?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Basically, yes. But with like gay men from like these leather bars. Well,
Mhm.
Friedkin's doing a movie based on this, and he wants to kind of dive into the mind of a killer, figure out like how would a killer behave and all this shit. And he's like, "Well, I happen to know a guy who has murdered someone, the guy that I had put in my movie." So he goes to the prison and talks to him. Is like, I want to just kind of dive into this guy's brain. While he's talking to him, Paul Bateson, figures out what he's making the movie about and basically leans in and tells him, "I'm the trash bag killer, and those murders were committed by me." And Paul Basin is never convicted of the murders, but they did stop as soon as he was arrested, and they never happened again. And I mean, pretty much, it's very believable. Most people do believe that he was the trash bag murderer. So,
I
how
love
about
that.
that?
I
I mean,
love
how
that.
crazy is that?
I mean,
Um,
like, could you imagine being Linda Blair?
yes. Oh, I know. Like,
Being like, "So, every time I hear that name, I have to think about him touching my neck and doing this,"
yes.
and then
And
to
how
know that he
nice he
may have
was.
killed lots of people.
Yeah, he killed
Most
6
serial
people.
killers, I feel like every story I hear of them, they're a nice guy at first, and then they're not.
Well, that's true. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Yeah. So anyways, thought I'd just tell you
great.
that story. But
Thank you.
yeah, so let's dive into Bill Friedkin a little
Okay.
cuz boy, I
What a mind.
William Friedkin was an absolute fucking lunatic. I don't know if you read much into his behavior on set. Um so earlier like at the beginning you were saying how a lot of their screams seemed real. So there's a reason their screams seemed real, and it's because William Friedkin liked to play this little game where he would walk around the set with a loaded shotgun and just randomly shoot it into the air right next to the actors to so that he could film their genuine reaction of terrified fear. So,
It's 2025 and they have intimacy coordinators.
yeah,
In 1973, he has a loaded shotgun and he wants to hear Linda Blair scream, so he said, "Hey,
the
come on."
amount of yeah, well, I actually, funny enough, I don't think he ever did it to Linda Blair, but he definitely did it
That's
to
good.
Ellen Burstyn, and he did it
Yeah.
to Jason Miller. He actually fired the shotgun off right next to Jason Miller's face,
Oh, I'd sue.
and they got into a pretty heated argument about that. But, yeah,
That's
movie
insane.
sets were a little different,
Yeah.
during the Nixon administration.
I feel
Um,
like a lot of stuff was different back then.
well, that's true. Yeah, 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 yeah. There was I mean, so William Friedkin basically notorious. And it's not even just this movie. I mean, he's a fucking lunatic pretty much and during every movie he filmed. Um, which you need to really dive into his filmography because holy fuck, he's made some great movies. The Conversation, great. The French Connection is a fucking classic. He made a movie called Bug with Michael Shannon. Whoa, boy.
He's a
Have
weird guy.
have fun with that one. But yeah, so anyway, so yeah, everybody in the set basically fucking hates him. He'll just randomly fire people for no reason. Like he'll be like buddies with them, like shake their hand, and then the very next thing he does is go over to a person and say, like, "Hey, get him out of here. He's that person's fired. Like just this weird, very tyrannical behavior, which comes from like old Hollywood with like Hitchcock, which Hitchcock used to do a lot of fucked up stuff to people. And there's still some of that going on in Hollywood in the 70s. And then obviously it starts to die off and it doesn't really happen too much anymore. I mean, except for unless you're working with Tarantino, then he's gonna damn near try to kill you multiple occasions. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of the Friedkin thing is him just being an absolute fucking nut job. And it almost kind of takes a nut job to make a movie like this. So it's kind of like a good thing that he was that way. But yeah. So moving on from Friedkin, uh so just some like kind of other behind the scenes stuff, like the way the movie was filmed and all this stuff. So whenever they're so in the movie, like getting towards the end, every time they go into Reagan's room, it's obviously like freezing fucking cold.
Yeah,
Uh,
I noticed like the fog coming out of their mouths multiple times when they would breathe next to each other. They obviously had to make it cold, right?
yeah. Do you
So
know?
how cold was it?
So William Friedkin spent $285,000 to have built a industrial air conditioning unit that would lower the temperature of the room to negative 20 degrees. Lunatic.
You couldn't just let the actors act. That's why the acting is so good. They're not
Yeah,
acting.
there's not really a whole lot of acting going
They're
on in this movie.
scared. They're cold. They're shivering. They're really screaming and shaking. There's no acting
Yeah.
besides memorizing your lines.
Yeah, they're 10 minutes away from hypothermia. William
Yeah.
Friedkin's aiming a shotgun at their head. I mean, there's, I mean, there's
Do the
part
lines as he's in his warm coat.
oh yeah, well,
You're fired.
William Friedkin's wearing like, fucking polar bear fur and aiming a goddamn 30-06 at them. And they're just having to act like, this chick's possessed. Um but he's not the only person doing kind of going above and beyond for this movie. So, did you read anything about the woman who does the voice of Pazuzu?
Yes,
Okay,
I
so the
did.
woman is Mercedes McCambridge
Who didn't want credit until she did.
until that
Until she
money,
did.
until she realized how much money
Yeah.
she was missing
But
out
that was
on.
me. That was
Yeah.
my voice. I smoked 100 pack of cigarettes to do
Okay.
that.
So you read that about how she
It
how
was
she
that
got
and
the
something else,
voice,
right?
huh?
It was the cigarettes and one other thing.
It was two other things. She would
2 other things.
just chug raw eggs,
Okay.
and also, mind you, Mercedes McCambridge, a recovering alcoholic, decided to take up whiskey drinking. So she basically just relapsed herself to achieve the voice of Pazuzu. And it
That
works
voice
because
is so crazy.
that voice is terrifying.
Yeah.
And that's a thing with modern horror movies that sucks is that they digitally fuck with the voice to make it sound demonic and it just sounds dumb.
It sounds
It
fake.
it sounds too fake. There's something what's terrifying about this is that is that that's a real voice. Like you don't have to know who Mercedes McCambridge is. You don't have to know any of this stuff. You know that that is a real old like you can picture the woman like in your head
Yeah.
even if you don't know what she looks like, which I don't. But you can just imagine it. And that voice coming out of a young girl is fucking horrifying. Um Also, didn't know really until I was like pretty old. Um, the Max von Sydow, who also incredible actor. I didn't know he was only 44 in this movie.
That dude is like old.
He is wearing so you don't know this that he's wearing old man prosthetic makeup the whole time.
No.
Yeah.
That's
So
good makeup.
it
That's
Phenomenal
incredible.
for
1973. No, I thought
1973.
he was an old dude the whole time. I
I have
have him recast as an old dude.
so do I.
Okay,
Kind
good.
of. But yes, so
I kind of do too.
yeah, mine. I can't wait to get to this because I think you're
Me
gonna really
too.
like mine.
It's gonna be fun.
But yeah. So no, he's fucking mid 40s in this movie, which it never really crossed my mind until like I remember watching Minority Report. You ever seen that?
Mhm. Tom
So
Cruise?
he's the old guy, in
You
Minority
made me
Report.
come home and watch that because we were
Oh, I
watching it. Yeah, we
yes.
watched half of it at your house, and then I came home and finished it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the guy, Lamar Burgess, the guy that's him, you know?
What the fuck?
So so I remember thinking like, God, he's just always been old. Like, shouldn't he be dead by now? And then I found
Morgan
out, yeah,
Freeman?
that he was 44. But yeah, so Max von Sydow, who God, yeah, he is just so incredible in this movie. So that's
Yeah, he was
one
my
thing.
second favorite on the list.
Yeah, I love the opening scene. I think it's one of the best opening scenes of any horror movie. Um, you
That,
know,
believe it or not, that's the one I'd take out, but for different reasons, not because of the
okay.
acting. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, and then the only other thing I had before we get to the topics or segments is basically the set was haunted and a bunch of people died.
How
Um
many people died total?
I mean it kind of depends. I mean, if you're because a lot of people died who were just like immediate family members of the cast and crew, a lot of those people. But as far as cast and crew, I think it was like two or three people. The mom, Damien Karras' mom, Dimmy. She she died while the movie was being filmed. And the guy who played Dennings, the one that the Reagan kills. They don't show her
Oh,
killing him, but he turned his
they
she
say he
twisted his
falls
head
out the
all.
window?
Yeah, they said that
Yeah,
he fell out the window, but obviously she twists his head all the way around
right.
and but
Yeah.
so they both died while the movie's being filmed, which isn't that crazy because both of them are old as fuck. So like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't believe in any of the haunted bullshit, but it is, there's a lot of wild shit that happened. The whole set burned down except for Reagan's room. Um, which could be basically which
What?
well, that could be because the room was negative 20 fucking degrees.
There's no
I mean,
room for the heat. It's cold in here.
yeah, it's like, what a shock. The room that we kept at minus 20
-20 is
didn't
insane. Like
burn.
200, how much thousand? 225? 285?
285, $285,000.
$285,000 on an air conditioning unit. I need that
God.
in my house right
Oh
now.
my man. I thought that too.
Bro.
I thought that same thing. I was like, God, I wish I had that thing. Yeah.
So
Trying to think if there's any other little trivia. It was supposed to take 90 days to film, and it took 200 because William Friedkin's a fucking lunatic. Linda Blair fractured her spine during the when the bed's shaking. She's like being slammed around. She broke her back and had like lifelong fucking issues from it.
damn.
Well, Blair also ended up hanging out with Rick James a lot during the 80s, which that's not
Yeah,
good for anyone.
no.
Um, that's really about all I got for that. So if you're ready, we can just move on to the segments.
What'd you think about her climbing down the stairs?
A spider walk is one of the creepiest fucking things ever. It's that they use like an acrobat to do the
Yeah,
scene.
I
Um,
figured. That was
yeah,
creepy as fuck. I was like, "Oh."
so weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that actually might be second most terrifying scene to me.
that's pretty
Is
damn
that
scary.
is that yeah, that part is okay. So do you have anything else you want to add before we go to the segments?
Not for
Any
any
other
of that.
okay. All right. So first one we're gonna do modern makeover. So if the movie was gonna be remade today, who would you cast in the main roles? All right. So who do you have for Chris?
Emily Blunt.
Oh man. Great choice. I kind of went along the same similar-ish. I picked Kate Winslet.
Yeah, no, that was my first choice, and I said, "You said that last time, I'm not picking her this time," but
I
it
didn't
would have
say
been a
Kate
great choice.
Winslet last time.
I swear maybe we had just talked about her.
Maybe, I don't remember,
Maybe
but,
not.
I
Maybe
would
not. But
remember because
I
I woulda
saw
had
her
a
and I was
half a
like, maybe
chub.
Kate Winslet, but I saw Emily and I was like, Emily.
Oh, Emily Blunt's so fucking hot too. So is Kate Winslet. That'd be a hell of a three-way. My god. Like Emily Blunt, that trailer for a Disclosure Day, the new Spielberg movie. Yeah,
Dude, that looks actually pretty good. And
looks
I
amazing.
like
Can't
she just
wait.
starts and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
you whatever it's called.
Yeah, Disclosure Day. All right. Reagan. Who are you picking for
Reagan.
Reagan?
Have you watched the new Welcome to Derry show on HBO
Yes.
Max?
Yeah, I
Clara
hate it.
Stack. I don't think it's great either. I've only watched the first 4 episodes, but there's a
Yeah.
character in it. Her name is Clara Stack. She's
Oh,
a
okay. You're picking
actress. She
her.
plays the little brown-headed girl.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a good choice.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with the girl who plays Holly Wheeler in Stranger Things. I'm going
The new
Stranger Things
one?
fucking again. Yeah. In season 5, she plays Holly
Okay.
Wheeler.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
So for Father Karras, who are you picking?
So I've got Patrick Dempsey wrote down.
Dude, Patrick Dempsey's a good choice.
Like the hair,
Yeah.
hair, and I was just thinking like the 5 o'clock shadow, the being like you could be a father. I just see him wearing the little
Yeah.
neckerchief and stuff. I was like, yeah, I like that.
Padre Dempsey is a good one. I went with because I'm thinking of like the brooding, the crisis of faith, all this stuff. I'm going Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, dude.
Now I'm gonna go first on
Great choice.
Marin because they
Okay.
tie in. So
Okay.
for Marin, I'm going full Catholic Mel Gibson, and I'm doing a Signs reunion because
So that movie is weird.
because they play brothers, in
Yes,
Signs.
yeah. Joaquin
So,
Phoenix is weird, and I can't wait to talk about him one day, just fully in depth. But
well,
that
yeah,
movie is
we'll be doing
weird.
a Joaquin Phoenix movie at some point.
Cool.
He's
Weird.
my favorite actor alive.
Really?
Oh, without a doubt.
Out of everybody, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I think he's the greatest. I would put him in the top 3 greatest actors of all time, behind Brando and Jack Nicholson.
Okay, I've tried to make this list before of my favorite actors, and it's really hard. I really like it's hard. I really like Shia LaBeouf.
I like Shia LaBeouf too. And now my favorite actor of all time. So favorite, I would say, is different than greatest.
Okay,
But my favorite actor of all time is Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer's a great actor.
Yeah, it was. He's dead.
He is. He
Yeah.
had that little speech thing.
But yes, my favorite actor of all time is Val Kilmer. But if I'm doing like Mount Rushmore of greatest actors of all time,
Okay,
so I'll just do that.
I've never done that.
Fuck it. Well, let's do it. So for me, Brando, Nicholson, Joaquin Phoenix, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, like Batman.
Gary Oldman is actually I'd almost put him above fucking Joaquin Phoenix. Gary Oldman's
I don't think I've ever seen another Gary Oldman movie. Maybe.
You've never seen True Romance or Dracula?
Maybe not in my being able to remember years.
Lawless. You didn't watch that movie with Tom Hardy?
And
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. No, I did. I watched that one.
He's the gangster, the main like gangster from Chicago.
Okay.
God, I gotta just make you a list of Gary Oldman movies because fucking A. I mean, he's. I mean, you just go on YouTube and look up a Gary Oldman compilation because it's the greatest range of acting of any actor ever.
I really like Stanley Tucci.
Oh, that's a good one. Stanley Tucci's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's great in The Lovely Bones.
Oh, dude, that was such a good movie.
And I loved him in actually if this movie
Hunger
was
Games.
I don't know, I could give a fuck about Hunger Games. But if you made or like if this, if they were recasting it maybe 10 years ago, this movie, The Exorcist, Saoirse Ronan would be a great Reagan.
I don't know who that is.
The girl from Lovely Bones. And she's in like a fuckload
of Irish. That's her name.
Yeah, Saoirse Ronan. Yeah.
I always get her confused with the girl from Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. But anyways, okay, so and then who'd you pick for Marin?
John Hamm.
Wait, so you're going Patrick Dempsey and John Hamm as the 2 priests?
The reason why I picked him for Marin is because I see John Hamm in old makeup with like gray hair.
Oh.
And now I'm learning that you said he was young playing a guy that was old.
Yeah, that's actually
made way more sense in my head.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked John Hamm, because I pictured him old as the part, makeup, gray hair.
Yeah. So delete a scene, take out a scene from the movie, big or small. Any scene that you think would make the movie better if it was removed?
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
think I mean, the beginning scene in Iraq is good for the exposition and getting everyone a idea of where Pazuzu comes from and stuff. But I mean,
Mhm.
I don't recall them saying Pazuzu. I don't recall
They don't.
them doing much with it in the beginning besides him getting
Mhm.
kind of scared and you understanding that this curse came with him.
Mhm.
But other than that, you could have just said that guy could have been holding a rock in the beginning in the church and it caused something to flicker. And then it would have been like, okay, the rock's haunted. It's a scary looking demon. This is a priest. He's holding it. Now we can move on to something scary. It was 54 minutes before some stuff happened in that movie, if I recalled, and
That
that
sounds about
scene was
right.
about 15 minutes of it, maybe a little less.
I'll say this in defense of that scene, but I do know what you mean. I know that like it could have been taken out and you could have explained the Pazuzu
Yeah.
shit in a easier way, like a museum or something like that, or whatever. I think that with that it makes the whole thing seem so much more ancient, and whenever you
Hmm.
make it seem whenever you kind of imply that it's like an ancient thing, then it becomes like this timeless, like it exists through time, and it makes it just more evil and scary. Whenever you know that this is like instead of like an Annabelle doll, which is from this girl from the 50s, it was like, okay,
Right.
but this thing is thousands of years old, may have even existed, from the beginning of time, showing it amongst these ruins, these archaeological digs makes it just seem more like it was never supposed to be found, all these kinds of things. It gives it more, I think, more like it just makes it more terrifying and seem more of like a formidable foe. So for me, I'm taking out it's a decently small scene, but it's fucking pointless. The scene where they're showing them filming the movie that Reagan's mom is in.
Oh yeah, in the beginning they show the Panavision camera and everything, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the director.
And
But
it's like
isn't
a
that so you
Viet
learn who that Burt guy is before he dies?
Yeah, yeah, you learn about Burt Dennings, like, you learn about all that shit, but I just think that, like,
It is kind of pointless. It makes you think that the whole thing's about a movie.
it takes you out of a movie whenever a movie is shown within a movie. It makes I don't know,
Fourth dimension,
I don't like movies about movies. I don't like
right?
any of that shit. I don't like them showing
Yeah,
filming
she
of
didn't
movies.
have to be an actress. Why did
I
the mom
know.
have to be an actress at all?
I think I mean, in the book, she's an actress as well. I think I don't like it whenever an actor is playing an actor.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I don't
obvious.
like it, and, so, to me, I would have not had her as an actress. I'd have had her as, like, a professor or something, like or, like, just a regular job, but, yeah, I take that whole scene out. It seems weird because then, like, you're watching them acting,
Right,
and I don't like that. I don't like seeing people pretend to act while they're acting
makes sense.
because then, yeah, I don't know. So, I take that out. So,
It's a tough one.
next one, I love that line. What's you think do you think is the best line of the movie? Tagline, if you will. I mean,
The power of Christ compels you.
yeah,
The power of Christ compels you. The
that's
power of Christ compels you.
that's a good
I've
one.
said that since I was like 7 years old.
I know.
No matter
It's
if anyone is acting crazy, the power of Christ compels you.
yes. It's the most iconic line of this movie without a doubt.
Yeah.
You don't go, "Dee me," like the mom. "Dee." So for me, I go so there's the scene where Karis is like, well, if you are the devil, then why don't you, open that drawer? Like he does that where and she looks at him, she goes, that's too much a vulgar display of power. I think
Yeah.
it's just such a great line. And also it's the album, a Pantera album, Vulgar Display of Power. And there's so like, yeah, I know it's one of my favorite bands. I have that connection to it, like where I'm just like, oh, it's just which also it took me a long time to realize that that's where that album because I always thought that album title was cool, Vulgar Display of Power. And the album covers them just punching a guy getting punched in the face. Like it's just a fucking metal ass album cover and title. And I never really realized where it came from. And one day when I was watching The Exorcist, after I'd already seen it, who knows how many times I heard her say that and I was like, oh,
Hmm,
well, shit, I
where'd
bet
that
that's
come
where they
from?
fucking got it from. But I just think that that it sounds cool. And that's a great scene too, where like Nothing crazy's happening. It's just Karis like really trying to figure out if this is like legit or not. Um, all right, scene stealer. Whose performance is most fun to watch? They don't have to necessarily be the best actor, but every time they're on screen, you're like, God damn, I'm pumped.
Can you say her name again? That voices the demon,
McCambridge.
McCambridge.
Yeah. So every time the voice of
Yeah,
Reagan,
man,
yeah,
that's the time I'm locked in. I'm like, oh shit, there's some stuff happening. I'd
yeah.
say Reagan, but I mean, like, it's really the voice.
Well, it's kind of the yeah, exactly. Yeah. The voice is really what does it. Yeah, more than
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. I go Lee J. Cobb, the
Okay.
lieutenant. I love it every time he's on screen. I'm just like, oh, I love this. I love his acting. I love like just the way he talks. He's kind of weird and kind of bumbly, like, but he knows something's up. Like, he just it kind of doesn't even make sense for his character to even be in the movie. You could take
Yeah,
out
you can take
every
him out.
single scene and it doesn't matter. And they probably knew that. Like, I'm sure Friedkin was like, we could just not have Lee J. Cobb in this movie. And yet they were still like, we gotta have him. Fuck it. Like, look at the way he
No.
talks. And he calls him at one point Father Paranoia, which I think is great. Great line. He's
It's
like,
a
just
good
give
one.
me some information, Father Paranoia.
Mm.
That's a great line. All right, sales pitch scene. So, what scene would you show to someone who's never seen the movie to convince them to watch the movie?
I didn't write anything down because I had like 8 or 9 different things I could choose for this
Okay.
answer, and I'm struggling picking the
You want
very
me to
best
pick
one. Like,
first?
go first, but the only reason I can't answer right off the top of my head is because how would you not spoil this movie and show them a trailer to make them want to watch it?
I think you show some of the possessions. So for me, the scene I picked was the masturbating cross scene. I think you just show them some wild shit and be like, "You want to see the
I guess
where
that would
this is
lock
coming from?"
any weird person in for sure.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think you show them that and go, "You want to be taken on a wild ass ride? Let's start with this." So yeah,
Man, maybe right when she was getting sick in the beginning, the cuts are on her face and she's
yeah,
laying in bed and her eyes are green and she's sitting there and she's turning her head back and forth and they're
that's a good
talking
yeah.
to her. And then like she just starts kind of not projectiling it, but she starts throwing up the green and it's like
Hmm.
coming out of her mouth sideways. I was like, okay, I'd show that to someone and they'd probably be
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is this about? And I'd be like, just watch. I wouldn't
I
want to
remember.
show like the head turning or the projectile or like her saying any famous line or anything because I'd want that to be saved.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck me, fuck me.
Fuck me,
Yeah,
fuck me,
yeah.
fuck me.
Um, So, cinematic universe, should this movie have a spin-off film or series? And if so, what would you pick to have the spin-off film or series be about?
I said no. I haven't
Okay.
seen any of the rest of The Exorcist, so I can't tell you if they made it better or not. But most of the time,
They did
sequels
not.
and stuff.
Except for
Yeah.
the third one. The third one is very good and it has Father Karras in it,
Okay.
which
I'll still
I
give it a
know
watch
doesn't
just because.
seem like it would make sense because, he's dead.
Wait. Yeah.
But no, you should watch it. It also has one of the scariest scenes of any movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
And it's like notorious for this one scene. Like if you were to look up like Google scariest movie scenes of all time, it's gonna come up in that list.
Okay.
It's called the Exorcist 3, The Heretic, I think is the subtitle. But anyways, it's also the movie that Jeffrey Dahmer loved to show people right before he killed them, which is a little fun fact. So yeah. Like,
That's fun.
"Hey, you wanna watch a movie with me?" Yeah, and the next thing you know, you're a fuck zombie, so, yeah, anyways, what would you
Drink
pick,
some water.
would you pick anything to do a spinoff? Like, would you want there to be a sequel? So, ignore the sequels that already exist. Do you want there to be a sequel? Do you want there
Dude,
to
I
be a
think it works
spinoff?
great as a standalone movie. And
Okay,
because it's like it's inspired a lot of other movies, which I think is good on its own for them to make other original ideas based on this original idea. Uh, I, I don't. I think sequels always just a lot of time it doesn't make something better. I would have left it standalone and then went on to write something greater, knowing what I know from that movie.
okay. That's
Yeah.
good. I like that. I would do, and I'm not a like I don't like prequels, sequels. I don't like any of that shit. I would do a prequel with Father Merrin leading up to Iraq.
Ooh, and what he
Like,
already knows and what he's been
yeah,
through.
see him do some other exorcisms, and
Yeah.
then him going to Iraq and having some crazy shit happen while he's in
It seemed
Iraq.
like he wasn't really phased during the exorcism, like, it wasn't new to him, it was just more intense.
Which is why I would love to see, and it's not even
Yeah.
this, it was more intense. He's just so old that he fucking dies. But
Yeah,
I
so
would
he could have been
love
doing
to
that shit how many years did they say it had been since the last one?
since the last what?
They said it's been years since our last exorcism, or we haven't done that in
Yeah, when the like clergymen or whatever
yeah,
the priests are talking. I can't remember what time they said, but it's been a while. So like,
right.
I would love to see like a younger Marin, going
That'd be
through
cool.
like his exorcism stuff and like, and then leading up to Iraq. Like, I
Oh,
think would
yeah,
be
that'd be good.
that's about all I could really think of as far as that. Or watch, Chris star in a couple other movies. I'd like to see the movie that they're filming.
Yeah, now
I'd
that
like to
we
know
have to
what
know she's filming a movie.
Yeah, I'd like to know how that movie turned out. I mean, it looked dumb as hell, but all right. Character killing. So who in the movie do you want to see die? Who should have died? Who would you like to have died? It could be someone who already died, you know, whatever.
It is someone that already died, but I said when it happened in the moment, I put Marin because he let Karis get hit over the head with that damn box. Like,
Yeah.
how you just gonna stand there? This bitch is going crazy. Obviously, she's
Mm,
tossing shit around. Save your boy. You just
yeah.
looked at him. He gets hit. He just kept looking like, damn, why didn't you move?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's old. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, whatever.
But I get you. That's a good one. Uh Part of me kind of thinks Reagan should have died.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean,
I think
the
it makes it way
exorcism
more
failing would have
dark
been
and
great.
but I also had Chris because there are times where her yelling just gets on my fucking nerve, like her voice gets on my nerves. It's very
Yes.
grating. And there's
Yep.
some times where like she freaks out where I just think maybe somebody should just fucking take her ass out. Um, but I don't
So
know. I
long,
mean,
Chris.
but being serious, I mean, I think the best person to die is Karis. I think
Yeah.
they killed the person who should have died.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And then last one, kids are stupid. Is this a good movie or were we just 9 years old? I don't know how old you were when you first saw this, but I was probably a little bit under nine.
Probably
Uh,
close to it.
yeah. So is this a good movie or were we just kids when we first saw it and so it has that effect?
This is worth the watch. It is a good movie.
Fuck yes, I'm with you. What do you rate it? Scale 1 to 10.
Are we doing decimal points ever? Or are we just
Yeah, let's
going
let's do decimals. Fuck it. Let's do point fives. Don't do any other bullshit. So you can do like a 7.5, but don't do like a 7.3 because
I'm gonna give this movie in all. I mean, just based on everything I don't like and based on everything I like. I
yeah.
mean, and you have to understand the way I rate things. If this makes sense to you, a
Okay.
0 would be like the movie Rubber. You ever seen that?
Uh-uh.
It's a movie about a tire that rolls around killing people.
Oh yes, 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 yes. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar with the film.
So that's like a 0 because it's just a 0. And
Yeah.
then Interstellar might be my second top favorite movie of all time with everything that happens, the music, the videography, the acting, all of that. So like that would be my 10. I would give this a 6.5.
That's low. But
But
I
to me, that's
understand.
so good. Anything above a 5 to me means I like it and I'll probably watch it again. If it's below
Okay.
a 5, it's like I'll probably not watch it again. But
Yeah.
if it's getting more than 2, it did something right.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I get you. I think, yeah, I weigh mine less, I think.
Right. Right. Right.
Because to me, anything above a six, like on IMDb, if a
Mhm.
well, for horror movies, it's a little bit different because people just like love shitting on horror movies. They always
They
have
do.
lower ratings than they should. Any horror movie above a five, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
If it's under a 5, I'm like, "Oh, it's gotta be bad." But movies in general, anything above a 6 on IMDb, I'm like, "Alright, this is probably worth a watch."
Do you have, like,
So,
a favorite or a scariest movie?
well, scariest movie of all time was probably Sinister.
Dude, I
Yeah.
agree,
I think it's
100%.
I think it's the scariest movie ever made,
And you how many
without a
times have
doubt.
you watched that? I've seen it 3 or 4 times, and each
I'm
time
with you.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
scared.
I'm probably about 5, I would say. It's probably around 5, and it still gets me every
The second
time.
one sucks, but the first one,
Never seen the second one, didn't want to,
not worth it. Don't
won't
watch
ever
you
do.
don't have to watch it ever, but the
Yeah, the
first
guy
one,
killed
dude,
himself not a couple days ago. The
Ethan
Jane
Hawke?
Ransom? No,
Oh, from
not
the
Ethan
second
Hawke.
one.
Well, he's in the first one too. He's the cop who, kinda comes there. He's in, It.
Oh, no, I saw that, I saw that, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
anyways, he's in Black Phone as well. But, alright, so and then, yeah, but I mean, what else did you say? You said what's scariest and
Favorite.
what's the best
So
movie?
that's scariest, and we both agree on that because I can't think of anything scarier than Sinister, but
And
favorite scary movie of all time,
oh, it's The
I have
Exorcist.
it's The Exorcist for you?
Yeah, yeah. This is my favorite scary horror movie ever made. Yeah, I mean, to me, and this isn't even, I mean, this is like I give it I give it a 9.5.
Cool.
I can't think of really much that I would change about this movie, but there probably is maybe like a little bit that I'd tweak, and that keeps it from a 10. But I don't know. I mean, it's pretty damn close to a 10, really.
If you could be the director, the writer, or the producer of this film, who would you pick? And what
Well,
would
I
you
don't want to be
change?
the director because I would love to see Bill Friedkin's wild bullshit going on. I'd love to be the producer because I'd be holy hell. Yeah, I'd be like, I didn't have to do anything, and I got to have this happen. I mean, and the writer's William Peter Blatty, so I mean that'd be kind of nice to be. I mean, he
Mhm.
got double ended, I mean,
Whose
in a good.
mind is more fucked up?
Oh well, ooh, that's interesting. Well, definitely not the
He
producer. Man,
he
producer.
wrote all of this down, and then some guy said, "I wanna put that on a camera. Let me make
Well,
this real."
yeah, and Bill Friedkin has a lot of other shit to look at to be like, "Oh,
Right.
this guy's fucked." Oh, also, you know that, this is the thing I kind of forgot to mention earlier. So when William Friedkin was auditioning actresses, so one of the people who, yeah, I didn't even go through like the original casting shit, which is really not a whole lot for this. Like they wanted Brando at some point, like, and he, it wasn't gonna happen, which he did accept to play the role in Scary Movie 2 of the old priest instead of before James Woods, and they
Ah,
gave him but his requirement is that they give him, like, $3 million up front, and they were like, "Oh, fuck yeah, we'll do it because 'cause we're gonna have fucking Marlon Brando in this movie," and he just didn't do it. They gave him the money, he was just like, "Nah, I don't wanna." He's like, "Alright. Pleasure doing
Hollywood.
business with you." Yeah, it's like, "Actually, I think I'm gonna sit this one out." Like so then they just got James Woods and fucking Andy Richter. But anyways, and yeah, there wasn't much for like Father Karras. I mean, there was like a couple people's names who popped up, but who knows how legit. For Linda Blair, though, they asked Janet Leigh, who was the star of Psycho back in 1960, Hitchcock film,
Okay.
asked if,
Mhm.
if her daughter would want to do it. And she said, "Hell no, my daughter's not being in this movie." Well, her daughter is Jamie Lee Curtis, who would go on to, do
Be in
Halloween.
all the
So, like,
Halloween films
yeah,
and everything
yeah,
else.
but she was one of the people that they were like, that they actively sought out or, at least asked.
Mhm.
And then also the girl who played Violet Beauregard in Willy Wonka, she apparently was up for it, and her family was like, it's too dark."
Oh, in
Yeah,
the original Willy Wonka, I thought Johnny Depp for half a second. I was like, "Damn, that came
yeah,
out
no,
back
no, no,
then?"
Willy Wonka, not Charlie in the bullshit factory. Bitch. So, yeah, that was really bad for the casting. So when Bill Friedkin was, had started speaking to Linda Blair, who, mind you, is very young, he is trying to figure out, like, basically kind of get to know her a little bit, and they go over the masturbation scene, and he asks her, "Well, do you masturbate?"
How old was she
And
when she was the actress?
you might I Google it because I don't know for sure, but I think I want to say 12. I think she might have been
Because that's
13.
how she was playing the kid, right?
I know. She might have been a little bit older, but I feel like she was around the age of the kid. Just ask how old was Linda Blair in The
Linda Blair was
Exorcist?
born in 1959, and that movie came out in 73, which
So
would
she
make
was
her 14.
13.
Yeah, 13
Probably
or 14.
13 whenever they filmed it, or
Yeah.
maybe 14. But yeah, no, probably 13 because it took them 200 fucking
No
days.
matter
So
what number it was, it's not good to say
it's
what he said.
yeah. So he asked her, "Do you know what masturbating is?" And she said, "Of course." Uh, it's like jacking off or something like that along those lines. And he asked, "Do you masturbate?" And she said, basically, "Of course, do you?" Which is a weird conversation for a grown man to be having with a girl, no matter what. Um,
Was her mom not on set?
Probably not. If I had to
Ooh.
guess, I don't think there was a whole lot of parental guidance going on with actors, back then. So not that there is now either, but yeah, that was one other thing that I kind of forgot about. But yeah. So,
That's wild.
anyways, so I guess we'll end that on a high note. So, do you have any final thoughts? Jerry Springer style final thoughts on uh on uh on the film? What
Yeah, it was a good
anything at
watch.
all?
I think I was over skeptical on the audio and stuff because I have to understand that it is 1973. They
Yeah,
don't have the option to fix that.
yeah,
So if I take that aspect out of it when I go into watching an older movie like that, I might have a more enjoyable time.
I agree. Yeah, but I get it. I get like when you have that in your head, it's like sticks out like a fucking sore thumb. Because
Right.
certain things, I mean, I don't have it with that specifically, but I do have it with other stuff, and I can't fucking just shut that off. I
I
mean,
don't like North Atlantic accents.
do they have does any of them have North Atlantic accents?
In the beginning, all the women, they're talking in like a not
Oh,
quite, but it's close to it, and I just
yeah,
don't like the way old-timey people talk, or the
that's
way they
fair.
talked in the '60s and '70s is just
Yeah,
kinda, "Oh, Chauncey, I really don't like what's going on here," but that was more British.
that was
Anyway,
all British. I mean,
yeah,
good lord,
yeah.
you sounded like Liza Doolittle. Jesus, yeah, that's a My Fair Lady reference, but you didn't think you were going to get that today, did you?
No, did
Um,
not.
yeah. But yeah, no, I get it. I'm glad you liked it, even despite that. Like, I'm glad you gave it the shot, watched it,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was fun. I mean, I
I'm
love
ready
this
for the
movie.
next one.
Me too. Next one, Apocalypse Now, coming soon. Which, yeah, you might have some of that issue, but I will say, Apocalypse Now, for the most part, doesn't for whatever reason. Francis Ford Coppola was just a fucking amazing filmmaker. It does not look like it was filmed in the '70s. Not even close. It looks like it was filmed today. So there's a little bit of
Perfect.
a
Maybe I'm
spoiler.
gonna love this movie.
I think you'll like Apocalypse Now a lot. But
Okay.
anyways, so that was The Exorcist. I had a blast. Your mother, your mother sucks cocks in hell. There, there we go. All
Fuck me,
right.
fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me.
All right. All right. Well, until next time, goodbye.